One of the things I love to do in my life to keep my mental health buoyant and my emotions stable is to engage myself in creative projects. I don't think many people out there at the moment would think that this was just life as normal. I must admit, I find myself a little bit alarmed at the strange events that are happening. And one way that I like to view my life is by preparing a journal. As you can see here, I do decorate each week at a time, usually on a Sunday evening. If I've got any video ideas, I like to do a mind map here. And I tend to block out my working days. And for the other days in the week, I tend to just briefly write what I did and who with, and then go in and decorate them a little bit more afterwards. So if there's a couple of days that something really significant has happened, I go heavy on the decorating. It's a lovely thing here. You can see on this Sunday, we have Joy's birthday here, and I decorated that day really nice. I celebrated that I got into a size 12 dress. And I use stickers and quotes to give myself encouragement to keep everything upbeat. If things are not upbeat, then I do take time to have a day of self-care. So if we look at last week, this is the day that Joy passed away. Then I had 3 very difficult days working from home. Then I uploaded a video on Saturday telling you guys about it. And then I decorated here Father's Day. We went to have afternoon tea in a really lovely village near here. And again, I've used stickers just to encourage myself. This one says, just be present. This one says, do what you love. Now, the week that my dog died, we received some flowers from my mother-in-law, and we received a card from the vet. They were so wonderful at this vet. And it means so much to me. So I will find a way of putting them in here somehow, just to keep these mementos. Otherwise, really, they might get lost, and it's a good way of keeping them. So yesterday, Monday the 21st, this was the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. We had rain all day. It was so overcast, and I really needed to practice some self-care. So I've put here self-care day and drawn a cloud with some rain and some flowers around it. Today I wrote a quote from Tiny Acorns, Mighty Oaks Grow. And isn't that how we have to encourage ourselves, that small, consistent steps will bring us back into the light? I love this journal. It's the Passion Planner, and I've been using an A4 week to view Passion Planner for years. They actually provide their own quotes as well, and they give you ideas and challenges to do every week. This one says, Jane Austen, it isn't what we say or think that defines us, but what we do. I do try and keep active throughout the day if I'm not really needing to take a bit of a hibernation. And next week is completely blank. So on Sunday, I will decorate the following week. It's a really nice way of just keeping track of birthdays and putting memories together, celebrating the important days. And this lovely month to view, I put where the new moon and the full moons are in the month and people's birthdays. That's what I tend to use the month to view for. And then I really go to town on the week to view. So being a self-starter somewhat and having a plan for every week and every day has really helped me keep myself on track, keep myself relatively high energy. I'm not really a high energy person anyway, but it allows me to keep creative and keep focused on the important things in my life, the things that bring me most quality and the things that bring me most value out of life. If I don't do this, and really judging from experience, I tend to sink and become kind of aimless. And that very quickly leads to a kind of an emotional numbness and a little bit of depression, which I really don't enjoy and would want to avoid. So today I've got Ashlee in Flame Rooted. I haven't worn this one since I reviewed it all those months ago, and I did what I said I was going to do. This actually is heat friendly, and it was very, very curved, sort of swooping forward. So I got my straighteners and I just went over a little bit, bending it round the other way somewhat, so it's a little bit straighter and a little bit less swooping. I think that's much more realistic. I really don't like that uniform swoop. People's hair isn't like that normally, and I'm much, much happier with it now. As I mentioned in one of my other videos, I've decided to add a little bit more ornamentation to the hair that I wear. So I have my initial here. It's a rose gold. I couldn't find silver, unfortunately, and it is a Diamante K. I think it's so cute, so feminine. And when you put the side of your hair up, you can bring your bio hair into play. And the colour match, I think, is quite good. And it gives much more of an air of naturalness and realness to the whole style. I went in and I trimmed the bangs a little bit more. This is that lovely flame rooted colour. Just check out the different colours. There's some very, very red strands in there. A deep auburn and a lighter auburn on quite dark roots. Much darker than my natural hair colour. So on a day like today, when the COVID restrictions have been extended for another month, in fact yesterday being the 21st, we were due to have the restrictions taken off completely. So now we have them for another month, but there's already talk and preparation about them continuing really for the rest of the summer, and also further lockdowns in the autumn are not ruled out. So there are no promises. So here we are, you know, I find myself staring down the road of time, looking into my future with more of the same and more of the same, and no light at the end of the tunnel. To add further to the challenges that I'm fighting at the moment, we had 2 glorious weeks of sunshine. So it was last week and the week before, absolutely beautiful. June, lovely, lovely weather normally in this country. Then we came up against tremendous overcast weather, very dark, not much light is in the room, you know, even though the blinds are open, it's incredibly dark. You know, the roses came out last week and the week before, and nothing else has happened in the garden. You know, there are so many blooms, summer blooms that should be blooming now, that are still in bud. It's really weird. So myself and my trusty journal have really come into play at the moment. For years and years, I would say forever, all through my growing up years and, my adult years, I never felt that I actually had clothes to wear in my wardrobe. Most of the time my wardrobe was kind of bulging with all of these clothes. A lot of them didn't fit very well. They were either too small or too big or quite uncomfortable. But as I gained more and more weight, my clothes were just too small. And because I'm a seamstress, I just sat at my overlocker and made lots of black stretchy clothes that I could reach for every day. And as I gained weight, I started to feel somewhat overwhelmed by that approach. I was wearing black a lot. It affected my mood. I felt that I wasn't able to really express myself. I knew the colours that I liked and wanted to wear, generally speaking, but wearing bright colours was completely out of the question because they just simply, I felt, didn't look good on me. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else. This is completely subjective, just to me, 52 years old, middle-aged woman. I got to the stage where I was actually pretty much wearing 2 skirts and a couple of t-shirts and 1 cardigan a lot. Then, once I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy and I started to feel a little bit more at ease in my body, I began to branch out and I decided to get rid of all of my black clothes, all of my black shoes and all of my black accessories. I do not own 1 black handbag, I do not own 1 black belt or any black shoes or boots, and it is glorious. And I really have enjoyed this. And what I loved once I discovered that I was a type 2, what I loved about the Address Your Truth philosophy is that the way you dress, the lines that you wear and the colours that you wear express your essential energy that you emit. That's the energy that other people pick up on. It is really your essence. It's the way you look, the way you express yourself, the way you move, the sound of your voice. Now, Dress Your Truth is the soft and subtle woman. I do have a very soft voice. I've been told that I had a soft voice ever since I was a young adult. When I was a child, I was very shy and very, very sensitive. I'm still incredibly sensitive now. And I love the way that I no longer have to push myself out into the world with what I term to be aggression. I can live according to my own energy. And if I am going to push myself out into the world, if I am going to create something, it's now on my terms. It's now soft and flowing, sensitive, emotional, easy, comfortable. Those are the buzzwords that have come from understanding the type 2 energy. The type 2 elements that you can employ when approaching your wardrobe. So reading from the back of this card, the key words are fluid, flowing, relaxed, blended, soft, subtle, muted. And the shapes are elongated S-curve, teardrop, softened rectangle and elongated oval. Now, I have a secondary type 1. I'm not going to go too much into type 1. I just want to highlight that we do have one main type and then a secondary type, where you get to express it through things like accents of colour, accents of shape, sparkle, jewellery, even makeup and sometimes hairstyle. And incidentally, that's what I really love about wearing hair, is really you can choose the colour and the style that you want to go with. It's absolutely fantastic. So the keywords for a type 1 are upward, light, animated, buoyant, crisp, fresh and fun. And you're advised to choose 1 or 2 of those keywords in order to create the package that describes your unique look. So armed with this card, I'm able to approach an item that I haven't bought yet and assess it according to what's suggested here. The grey and the dark blue and the brown are actually the blacks of the type 2. So, and actually, really, I also consider the soft whites to be like a black in that they're neutral. And everybody needs those neutral pieces that you reach for to wear. Those neutrals go together, but you can use them as a base for any outfit and then add layers onto them. I'm not an expert. I'm actually still very much kind of learning the system. Most of the things I've bought have been in keeping with the colour card. I've bought 2 dresses that have not been in keeping with the colour card in that they have got a black background. But because I don't want to waste money and I'd rather have progress rather than perfection, I've decided to keep hold of those dresses for this season and maybe next season too, and type 2 them with the other things that I'm pairing them with. So I make sure that I have type 2 clothing, maybe another layer that subdues and softens that black, and use really effective jewellery just to sort of ease them into my wardrobe. I like the dresses, I'm not going to get rid of them. I want to take you upstairs, and I've divided my wardrobe into dresses, jeans and tops, cardigans and skirts. There are still huge gaps in my wardrobe that I'm still working towards, and I'm going to choose just a selection of the outfits that I've been able to wear in June. This is the first time in my life that I actually have outfits that when I put them on, I feel like a new woman. I feel good. I feel like I'm expressing my personality. I feel really confident because I know that whoever I approach and I'm talking to, I'm showing them my best self. Also, I'm a person that has come to understand that for me, clothing and appearance have actually always been very important, simply because they allow me to bring what's inside me out into the world. And what I mean by that is my essential character of being soft and sensitive. I'm able to sort of display that to people. If you put me in type 3 clothing, which are very earthy and gritty, they've got a real yellow gold undertone, they're very edgy, the hair is kind of shaved on the sides and spiky and stuff like that, it would put me very much on edge. And that's not how I want to relate to people when I meet them. I want people to know that I'm a sensitive person. I'm a laid-back, easygoing person. I'm not very dynamic, I promise you. I'm not one to go hiking, and I'm not an outdoorsy sort of person. I'd much rather stay in and write or create content or build a nice little online business, which I'm in the middle of doing now. I'm very interested in anything spiritual, anything to do with our inner life as human beings. These are my pursuits and these are my interests, and that's how I want to engage with the world. That's what I want to contribute to the world. It's so weird, isn't it? Every time I sit to do a video, the cats start playing up. Does anybody else have that experience with cats? It's so strange. And for the rest of the time, they're just sleeping. Anyway, so I want the world to reflect my qualities. I like my qualities. At 52, finally I can say, I like the way I was made, the way I am. I find it relaxing. I find it reassuring. I kind of quite like hanging out with myself. And also, for the people that I am spending time with and cultivating friendships with, I want to invest that time in people who are going to jive with me, who I'm going to be able to get on with, I want to contribute something to their life and I want them to contribute something to mine. Anybody who gives me a sideways look at me wearing hair is simply not the person for me. And I wouldn't want to be their friend anyway, because I would consider them to be really quite blinkered, quite rigid in their outlook, quite rigid in what is and isn't acceptable. I like people who are creative and take a chance and experiment. You know, I love to experiment. I love the fact that I'm in my 50s and really coming into my own and using experimentation as my main tool. Will you come upstairs with me? I've made a selection of these clothes in those categories that I told you about, and I'd really like to share them with you. Okay, so let's take as an example a nice basic summer dress. Type 2 loves floral, but nothing too garish. You can see that the colours on here are very muted. This is quite a bright orangey red, but this is as bright as it gets. It's not too far off the reds here, this colour card. I love the muted yellow, the lilac-y blue. It's got its own little belt. Very nice soft lines, and it has 2 tiers of ruffles here. It just hangs straight down, and it does have a slit here, so I can wear it with flip-flops, slip-on mules, little peep-toe booties in the autumn. I really love this. You might remember in my last Lookiero box I got this really lovely cardigan. Very, very easy to wear over this dress. The blues are very soft together. I think they complement each other really nicely. Nice, straight line, straight long line, very much in keeping with this dress. I think that having something like this in my wardrobe basically enables me to open up my wardrobe on a really warm day and I've got something ready to go. Another example of a summer floral in these beautiful muted colours. This floral is particularly ethereal. It's in lovely greys, and this is a muted nude type of pink. It has a straight skirt and a more blousy top. It comes to just below my knees. I've never worn this dress out actually, and I really ought to get some wear out of it because I bought it a few years ago simply because I fell in love with it. But I could never ever get into it, and I am in danger of completely missing the boat with this one. I love the softness of it. It's so subtle. It has a V at the back, zips up the back. This sort of thing I can easily wear with flip-flops should I want to, or a grey court shoe. I really love this. I actually invested in this sort of grey cardigan, which is quite tight on the arms, quite close to the body. Makes for such lovely, simple lines. It's all in the detail, isn't it, of the lines and how comfortable you are when you're wearing the clothes. Very, very easy to put this on when it's nice and warm out. And these are the soft summer florals that I think people need in their wardrobe. I also have this sort of quite old linen cardigan. Look at these colours, how soft and type 2 they are. So type 2 also talks about the texture and the fabrication of your clothes. Really what you're looking for is a soft and fluid fabrication, plush, comfortable with a soft weave. This, as you can see, is kind of see-through, but so versatile. It's got these slits here, which give it a nice casual air about it. It gives it a nice open, airy feel to it. I've never actually worn this before, and I've never worn this combination before, but as soon as the weather warms up, I'm definitely going to be in this. So those were two examples of summer florals in dresses, and this is a floral that I have in a blouse or a shirt. I got this from my Lucchiero box, which I've already reviewed. These jeggings are actually from Asda. They're a size 14 and they are being currently sold there, but they've got such a mellow colour to them. Now yes, they are a slightly lighter, slightly brighter blue, but I think with my secondary type 1 I can pull it off nicely. I do believe that this floral on this blouse actually calms those jeggings down. And with these jeggings, the wash on them, where they've got slight sort of lighter worn patches on them, also calms them down. Again, this handy cardigan pulls everything together. Pulls it all together, gives you a nice cohesive look. Can't tell you how soft and comfortable everything is. With the right footwear, you can dress this up or dress it down, whatever suits you. You know, it's a really lovely thing to be able to reach for this when I'm sort of just going shopping or even spending the day at home, relaxing, very cozy, very easy to wrap up in this cardigan and just chill out and watch a film on the sofa. Really lovely type 2 outfit. This is an outfit I have worn so many times in June. When I've woken up and it's been nice and warm outside and you've got the fresh summer ozone up there and the air is bright and it's warm. You want something to really reflect that, but is very practical and very easy to wear. This is the outfit that I love to put on. So I've got my slightly off-white jeans. I can roll them up should I wish to. And this blue shirt with them. Never have I actually used the belt on jeans like this before. I think it really pulls it together. It's a very, very mellow brown. Now the only untype 2 thing about it is that it is actually a gold buckle. But you know, sometimes you just have to use what you've got until you're able to replace it. And I'm certainly not going to sweat the fact that it's got a gold buckle. I'm just going to use it and appreciate it. It's all good. I absolutely love this outfit. It's definitely one of my favourites. And finally, as far as trousers and a top go, this is something that I wore to lunch. I went out to lunch with a friend. My daughter came along with us. I was wearing my John Renault topper, and I wore this blouse, which is actually Zara, but I got it from eBay. I put on a flesh-coloured cami underneath because it is very, very sheer and so incredibly feminine. It's quite close to the body and it complements the buff colour of the trousers beautifully. These are wide leg trousers from Next. Absolutely loved wearing this. Ladies, I've never worn anything like this in my life. I've always aspired to wear something like this, and now finally my time has come. So it's got some lovely silver diamante accents here at the front. Again, a lovely simple shape, nice and casual. I've loved wearing this, and I felt $1 million in it. But basically those are examples of outfits that I've actually worn out, tried and tested, type 2 clothing that has made me feel very comfortable and have given me a really expansive feeling of being able to open up my wardrobe and feeling confident that by pulling out a few things I'm going to be able to put together a nice outfit. And the more outfits you build up, the more you've got something for every occasion. And if something is in the wash, you think, oh well, okay, my white jeans are in the wash, I'm going to put on, you know, the white trousers or my other jeans. It's lovely to be able to build up your wardrobe slowly over time and make sure that everything you have you absolutely love. But these are the sort of things that I've just gotten rid of. So these are the more, I don't know whether you'll be able to tell the difference. These are actually too big and I have to get rid of them anyway. But so we've got much heavier fabric here, much more of a contrast between the dark blue and the grey. Not particularly a problem, but not as soft as it could be. I mean, if this was a slightly darker grey and a very pale grey or cream stripe, I would like it even more, but I've decided that everything that doesn't really fit type 2, I'm going to just phase out of my wardrobe. Even a blouse like this, nothing wrong with it really, it's just a navy blouse, but if you pick something up from in your hand and you actually have a negative response to it in yourself, in your gut, get rid of it, because you'll never wear it. It'll just clutter up the place and it'll make you feel like you've got lots of clothes and nothing to wear. So be quite honest with yourself when it comes to this sort of thing. Acknowledge that if something's not for you, then it has to go. This used to be my favourite dress. It's a Laura Ashlee dress. It's got quite deep colours in it, quite strong colours in it. If we hold up, I don't have the pattern card, but you can see actually that it's not quite blending in to the colours on that card. It's very strong. I don't know how else to describe it really. Can anyone maybe help me out? I mean, I loved it and I wore it to death, but I dare say I wore it mainly because I didn't really have another smart dress to wear. However, in saying that, it's got all the elements I love. 3/4 length sleeve and a V-neck, close fitting all the way down, nice straight skirt to it. I loved that dress, but because it's too big and because it's not quite what I'm looking for, it's going. Let me give you another example. Hobbs dress, wrap dress, okay? Black background with little beautiful coloured flowers on it. Now the flowers themselves I think are really lovely, but there's so much black on this dress. It's essentially a black dress, and even holding it now, I feel in myself like I'm just rejecting it. And then finally, this is another work dress that I wore practically every week. Essentially, it's too big. That's actually why I'm getting rid of it, but I'm happy to be getting rid of it. It's just not right. It doesn't make me feel good. I'd rather wear slightly softer colours than this. So I hope I've demonstrated somewhat the sorts of things that I'm enjoying wearing, the kind of direction that I'm going with my wardrobe. I hope to continue getting my Lookiero box. I think the next one is due in July. I must leave some feedback for Sanal about it, and to continue to build up on what I've already got. I've identified some areas that need a little bit more. I don't have anywhere near enough skirts. and I desperately need skirts. I desperately need more summer dresses and more varieties of jeans, all within keeping of the type 2 guidelines. I really hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's given those type 2s out there a little bit of inspiration and introduced some other people to the Dress Your Truth system, which has been so rewarding for me. It's really one of the best things I've ever done. So I think I might actually put on that blue cardigan, go downstairs, make another cup of tea, and maybe watch a film. A little bit of self-care wouldn't be too bad. Hope to see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.